Hey, how goes it? Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. And today I'm here to talk about a pretty neat crypto accessory. This is an Ethereum accessory, MyEthereum. I'm here with the founder, Chris Cashwell. How goes it, bro? Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, it's going good, man. Thanks.
Hey, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience? Let them know a little bit about yourself, maybe how you got into cryptocurrencies and how that led you to what you're doing now with MyEthereum.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm Chris Cashwell. I've been in the Bitcoin space for a long time. I actually did some like cold wallet storage stuff for a couple of big companies that you probably all know. I don't really talk a ton about, but yeah, that stuff's out there, and that kind of got me involved in the space back in like 2009, 2010. So I've been around for a while, going through all different kind of iterations of crypto as it's waxed and waned and everything in between. And yeah, so when Ethereum came out, that was, obviously something completely revolutionary for the blockchain space, and it got me really excited. So one of the first things I wanted to do with it was show a use case, a unique kind of use case like gaming. So this was in about January of 2018. So the original launch of the game, Ethereum, was February of 2018. So just over a year ago.
Oh,
So
happy
yeah,
birthday!
yeah, I know, right? Thanks.
You're welcome, bro. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the game itself? What is it, and why Ethereum instead of something else like another blockchain or something?
Yeah, so Ethereum is a digital trading card game. So it's basically like Magic the Gathering, except the game mechanics are totally unique. We built this game from the ground up using like all sorts of balancing and yeah, basically we just spent a lot of time really trying to get the mechanics in the game right. So the game itself is based on unique trading cards. So each edition we release of cards comes with, a certain number of maximum cards that can be minted for that edition. And what you get though is totally random. So the reason we chose the Ethereum blockchain is because at the time it was the only real NFT capable blockchain. So we yeah, so that's the sort of core reason why Ethereum in the first place. Of course, there's all the, common stuff you hear about blockchain games, like, personal ownership, really owning your assets, really being able to control trade, and whenever I want, I can obviously send you any one of my cards and you can send me one. We could do a swap on OpenSea, you name it. That kind of stuff is, in my eyes, critical to gaming. So that's why we do what we do.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset about, like Hearthstone, where you're not really able to do that. And if you kind of put a lot of effort into the game, there's not much you can really cash out. You can't really, there's no open market. There's no market. You can't really distribute ownership because you never
Yeah.
really owned it. And it's centralized. So if there were to have any issues, your account could be frozen and you could actually lose access to these assets that you have acquired playing the game, which in some sense I think is more like digital asset theft. Like if you were to get kicked off of Fortnite because they claimed that you cheated, there goes all those skins that you have actually paid either fiat or your time and attention, which is, I think, considered a currency at this point. That data, your attention is a currency of form. So it's theft, and a lot of gamers, this is starting to become a big problem that they're starting to look at and for solutions of.
I
So
mean, it's the reason that the Ethereum blockchain exists, right? Vitalik Buterin was talking about that as his sort of, I mean, I'm sure there's some level of humor involved in this comment, but he's saying when Blizzard nerfed his weapon on World of Warcraft, he was like, dude, like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, I gotta move on. We've got to create something new. We've got to be able to really own whatever it is that we're creating as individuals in this new digital frontier.
right, dude. Every time I play Fortnite, I ain't gonna lie. I look at my John Wick skin, and I'm just like, that's probably like worth 2 grand right now.
Totally.
Like I could probably trade that John Wick skin for almost
That's
a
pretty
Bitcoin
legitimate.
right now. It's
Yeah.
crazily like desired, but it's worth nothing. It's absolutely worth nothing. And what breaks my heart is the developer who put all that effort into the art behind it. Nothing. But if it was tokenized, they could maybe have two, three, whatever the
Some
amount is,
percentage
and
of
yeah,
it. Yeah.
exactly, in a vault, and they could release them maybe since it's vaulted, maybe sell auction one off once a year or something like
Yeah.
that, where the artist can actually remonetize their hard work. And I don't know, it just maybe the incentive isn't there enough for the legacy companies and legacy games to really get into it. But I don't think that that's going to stop the newer games from trying. And we're already seeing things like Magic go digital with that arena
Mhm.
beta, and it's really comparable to what Steam Monsters or Gods Unchained or MyTherium are doing. So we have the legacy system kind of
Mhm.
now following foot, where you are paving the
Yeah.
way for them. So it's really cool to see the trend being set, but they're one step behind. It's still centralized. It's not it's not a digital asset. It's a it's nothing. It's just
Yeah.
a random one and
It's
zero
an
in their
entry in a
ledger.
database.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It could be taken away from you at any moment, and Vitalik's legendary weapon could be nerfed and vaulted, and basically like stealing a crypto kitty or something right out of your private key wallet.
Right.
It's theft. So let's do a little walkthrough of my Ethereum because I wanted to see. There we go. There we go. Check that out. All right, so I'm here on mytherium.io, and I logged in with my MetaMask account. Let me see if I can pop that up. There we go. So I'm logged in with MetaMask, and it says I can claim a free deck. So if everybody's watching this, you can go to mytherium.io and just sign in with your MetaMask wallet, and you can claim a free deck. I'm gonna go and check that out. Oh, that was quick. Is that it?
Yeah,
That was
so
instant.
everything's happening. Everything you see on this app is happening on our private side chain, unless you're actually buying cards or transferring things to the main net. We did that for a couple of reasons, including speed and cost.
Mm.
We originally, the very first implementation, the entire thing was all on the Ethereum mainnet, which, as you can imagine, there's a lot of things involved here. You're building decks, which is constantly changing things around, you're basically flipping bits constantly. Whatever you're doing here, you're changing some data somewhere.
So this is
And
all on the blockchain, right? So those random
so
cards I got is a smart contract that we could audit and make sure that it was a random amount of random cards, or not a random
correct.
amount, but a random
It's a perfect
card.
duplicate of the on-chain contract that you can look up on Etherscan. Yeah.
Oh, dude, badass.
And
All right,
we
so we're gonna go through the process here of buying 10 more cards, and that is 0.082 ETH. Why didn't you put like a dollar amount and just change the
yeah.
ETH amount as it volatile to the dollar? So what is this, like a dollar or two or something?
Yeah, so the price goes up a little bit over time with every purchase, and the very first edition is already totally sold out. But this
Whoa,
is
hold up. What's going on with Ethereum right now? It's the cost is $10.63,
uh
but the gas fee is $2.40.
Yeah, man, the network's just a little bit
We're gonna
intense.
go for it. We're gonna go for it because that is just the cost of dealing with Ethereum in the future. I'm a beta tester for the
Yeah.
future of the Internet of Things.
Yeah, so
So
so the USD cost is one of the things that we do. We are planning to switch that up. Right now, everything is charged exclusively in F. We do have the capacity to accept through our smart contract. Obviously, we have the ability to accept any ERC20 token, but we don't really emphasize that. We did have a partnership with BitGuild where we were accepting plat in exchange for cards, and we just over time we realized that it's really better in this community right now. People don't like having to have another token, and it feels almost like we're telling them to have another token if we uh, price things out in a certain way. So we are planning to switch to like a USD based pricing scheme, and just vary up the price that's shown.
yeah, like I guess with like PayPal or something, right?
Well, no, we can't work with PayPal or any traditional credit card processing companies like Stripe, for example. We had a short-lived relationship with them. They decided that we were a little bit too much of a crypto gamble, and they decided to drop us right away.
Oh,
So
wow.
and that's kind of a common story you'll hear across the blockchain gaming space. Anybody who's tried to integrate credit card payments probably had a long, hard road. Now there's a new player on the block recently, Nifty Gateway, which a lot of people are excited about, myself included. I have a chat with the Cockfoster brothers tomorrow to actually talk about integrating that with Ethereum, which would give us the ability to accept credit card payments right on site. Wouldn't have to go through all the hoops and whatnot to get Ethereum in the first place.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. So I looks like I got a confirmation here from my MetaMask transaction.
Cool.
So where do I go to see the cards I just purchased? Because I see the 10 that I got when I claimed my free deck, and I see that there's icons here. So an edit name of deck, and
So
then
go
I
to
send to
the,
battle, and then there's a remove deck.
yeah, so go to the standby. You see a little deck there on the left side. It's the first item in your stack of decks there. It says standby on the right side.
Heroes.
So on the right side where you selected your deck before, just below the claim button, there's a the very first of those items there is the standby deck. So you get 6 deck squares to the right.
Oh, standby cards.
Yeah,
There we go. Deck.
exactly.
So what do I got to
The
do here?
standby is that's where anything that's not currently in a deck lives.
Oh, cool. So standby cards. So these are the 10 I just bought then.
Yeah, I also sent you a couple as a gift
Oh,
from Ethereum, so there's a couple more than the ones you bought in there, but
let's go and see. So, walk me through what one of these cards means. I see that there's like top left, top right, and then there's one, two, three, four, five icons at the bottom.
yeah, so let's just walk through the card from the top to the bottom. So the very top of the card is the character's name. That's just the name of the the character in the art that you see in there in the middle of the card. So the left side you have the defensive number. It's the shield value. So uh, I can't actually see the cards that you're looking at very well, but I can see. I'm just gonna read you one that I've got. The one that's sitting on the Ethereum main page. When you land on the landing page, you've got Rugbud sitting there. His shield is 41. His attack is 39. So top left is 41. Top right is 39. Anytime you attack with Rugbud, he's gonna throw 39 at you, and that is upgradable. This part of the benefit of having an on-chain card is you can actually upgrade that number
Yeah, I
to
see. I have upgrade in one of the bottom left in auctions. So I guess I could sell the card as well.
yeah, you can sell it on OpenSea. We have a direct integration there for OpenSea. But yeah, the upgrade. So upgrades happen with MythX, which is a ERC20 token. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. So yeah, so you got defense on the left and attack on the right. Then down at the bottom, there's a whole separate section. It looks like a broken off wall. So that's on the left side, that's added defense, and on the right, it's added offense. So those numbers are added to your base attack and shield if you have enough magic. Magic is the center 3 numbers there. There's 3 types of magic: black, gray, and white. So every round in Ethereum, your deck is going to generate a certain number of magic, and it depends on the strength of your deck. All sorts of things go into the calculation, but every deck has a unique 3 different things: unique power score, a unique magic production, and a unique health point value that you start with. So every deck is comparably powered to every other deck in Ethereum. You never have a chance of like play to win or pay to win, because even the free cards here, when balanced properly, will be able to defeat the most expensive paid cards.
So it looks like I could upgrade this card right here,
Yeah,
and
you probably don't have enough MythX yet. It you might, I don't know.
no, I
Yeah,
have nothing
yeah,
in my balance. I'm just
yeah. So
curious
you
what
wouldn't
that would
actually be able to
mean, and how
upgrade.
do I acquire that?
Yeah, so MythX is the proof of play token. So as you play, our side chain is constantly generating MythX for different actions that you do, small amounts. Every battle is going to get you, somewhere like somewhere between like zero point 0.1 and 1.5 MythX. And over time, you build up enough, you can actually use that to upgrade these cards. So that'll add to the offense or defense power, the base power that that card has, increasing its value.
Some of the art in here is really sick. Where did this come from?
Yeah, different stuff. Some of it's original art, some of it's stuff we've purchased licenses to. But yeah, it's all kind of, we've gone with this theme, and I talked about this a little bit with you at NFT NYC. How we have this whole like fan fiction, this whole, not even just fan fiction, we have a whole deep fiction storyline behind Mytherium, and that is accessible to everybody on the website there. But we're also releasing that as a Kindle book. So
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
yeah, so all the characters that you see in the card, not literally all of them, but lots of the characters in the cards that you see are gonna show up in the book at some point. So you'll get to know a little bit about the characters.
I found Master Splinter, y'all.
Yeah, I know, right? Yep.
Oh man, this is really cool, man. I like the way it feels like going through everything. Like I guess I can go through the tabs for everybody where it has like the heroes, battlegrounds. So there we could do a new battle. There's the strongholds. What's strongholds?
Yeah, so Stronghold, so the game is built around a couple of different core pieces. So there's the trading card game, which is the very sort of core of the entire system. The trading card game is like kind of the root of everything. Everything is based on battles at the end of the day. So you've got in Strongholds, you would typically join an alliance and or start your own. Whatever you want to do, you can do either. Most people choose to join an alliance. The benefit of that is that uh, the alliances are basically like communist installation. So what happens is over time, every time you generate a little bit of Mythics, a little bit gets sliced off and distributed evenly among the members of your guild.
That's
So
pretty cool.
yeah, or your alliance, sorry. So yeah, so anytime anybody in your alliance is playing, so you want to join up, with some of the more active guys, they're going to be constantly generating value for you. You can't
Whoa, this one
buy,
has 2,325 total raids, and the
dude.
join fee is 1,000 MX.
Yeah, man.
They are
There's a
totally
lot
active.
of
They're the most active, I think. Nope, 2,600. Wow, there's a lot of raiding going on, man. That's pretty active.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely active. We've done a couple of different tournaments and contests around increasing raids, and basically what that is doing is you want to protect your mythics balance as you generate it, but because it's sitting there on our side chain, this is kind of one of the fun features of sidechain is we're slowly devaluing whatever you gain. So it's being left out there basically unclaimed. So it's in your balance, and at the same time, other people can raid small amounts of it from you if you don't protect it right. So the idea is you build up your defense by upgrading to a higher level vault, and you can build different buildings, different production assets. There's
I
like
see, yeah,
mythics
right here I'm at the
mine.
production. So, what's the production? I see it. I could type, so I could pick. I could mine the mythics, right? And I could claim now. What is
Yeah.
that process?
Yeah, so what that's doing is basically it is a sort of an idle game aspect. So this is just going to passively generate you a small amount of mythics. The idea is that this is going to be the main source from which everybody's draining you over time.
Oh, so the
So this
point
keeps
I get
the
point one per day, and that's what I would basically get taken when I participate and lose, right?
unless you play actively, yeah. So unless you're really playing well and you're winning, you want to ideally be winning a lot and generating a lot of mythics and then using it to upgrade your cards as you go.
And there's a commerce here, so I guess I
Yeah.
could trade some mythics for gold and gold for mythics. It looks like.
Yeah, and different assets. There's a bunch of different things that you can trade. So there are I think 8 resource types right now. Yeah, eight resource types: mythics, gold, stone, iron, clay, crops, wood, and livestock. And those things are part of the greater three-dimensional immersive strongholds that are upcoming. We haven't released the full use case for that yet, but yeah, everybody will be seeing that pretty soon.
All right, and then there's the war room. Raid your fellow warlords to steal some of their mythics. Okay, so
Right.
I have a chance to just straight up pillage a village here.
Yep. Yep. And again, this is part of the interactive game. So you're gonna see in real time, see your guys, your
Oh, dude, this is
units
pretty cool. So I
raiding
can
each
set
other.
a deck for just straight up attacking and another deck straight up for defending this.
Right.
That's pretty cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
so you build up, a nice powerful defensive deck, throw that guy on defense, and you build up a nice offensive deck, throw that as your attack deck, and then you go start raiding, and you'll be well defended, hopefully, if you do it right.
Dude, that's pretty cool. That gives a lot more strategy to it. It's more like chess than checkers then. Oh,
Yeah, so
CryptoKitties. I see here when I went to Marketplace, CryptoKitties is listed
yeah,
next to
you
Mythic
not have any,
Cats.
you don't have any kitties in your wallet, huh?
I would have to send them to my MetaMask wallet that I have associated with my Ethereum.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
I have
generally,
some kitties here on wax.io. Let me see if I can do that real quick. If I can. If anybody wants one of my collectibles, I do have my own shitcoin on the blockchain. It's a collectible me. And it's on wax.io. So you can download the wax.io wallet. And I can send anybody that wants one, just hit me up. And I got a few of these to give away. But I want to see if I can send a crypto kitty from wax.io to my Ethereum MetaMask wallet. I don't know if I can.
yeah, we can. So the idea with that is, so we've created this sort of on ramp for people who have assets in other games but don't want to necessarily invest in a new game yet. So this gives you a way to just import. Basically you're putting your CryptoKitty on layaway, and we're going to give you a unique card that is specifically based on your kitty. So we analyze the DNA of the kitty that you deposit and use that to create a totally unique card for you.
All right, so DJ Me Popsicle, I know you're watching. Send me a crypto kitty to this address and I'll pay you for it later. He has so many crypto kitties. He's like the crazy cat lady of blockchain right now. I love you, DJ Me Popsicle. He also said that he was able to claim a few free packs.
Yeah, you can claim 4 or 5. I can't remember the exact restriction, but yeah, you can claim a couple. And these are yours on the side chain forever for no cost, and you can either import them to the Ethereum mainnet for a tiny fee, or you can play with them just over time. If you play with the deck 100 times, each card that has been played 100 times will then be eligible for us to pay the gas fees to get it over to the Ethereum mainnet for you.
It's hard to edit the name of the deck. Seems to be a glitch.
That's no fun. I'll
Yeah.
check that out for you.
It's in the video if you want to check it out. I was just trying to edit the name just now, and it just auto-filled back to the original. But I was going to name it just Free Deck 1, Free Deck 2, Free
Yeah.
Deck. So, all right. It looks like I have enough to do stuff. I kind of want to see about building a deck. So I see that the decks kind of look like they're kind of pre-built over here, and all decks have 65 cards.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of cards. All right. So how do I view all of these to start building decks?
Yeah, so you can either, since you claimed a couple of free packs, you got a couple of decks on so that you just clicked right on the start button. So that's basically just a shortcut to send your deck to battle. But yeah, if you click on the deck itself, the cards, you'll see just any one of them.
Okay. Yeah, we got deck.
Not that part, sorry. You want to click on like the orange outline, not the green sword.
Oh, there we go.
So that's the different deck. So you can either add cards to that or manage one of those decks to kind of move stuff around and create something new. Whatever you want to do. The idea of creating decks is to try to balance it. It seems like. What browser are you using?
I'm on Chrome at the moment.
Okay, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
So
the
I have a
deck
couple
building.
cards still standing by.
Yeah. So those guys are chill to stand by, or you can put them in a deck, whatever you want to do. So you want to balance the deck, try to get good magic production, good power rating overall, so that your deck can kind of stand up to pretty much whatever.
Is there a way to view all cards available and just kind of build from scratch, or do you have to click on the decks like, on the gold part individually?
Yeah, so each of the decks are like a composable on our side chain that actually hold the asset. So you actually have to remove them from a deck in order to put them into a different deck.
So do I hit this little trash can icon on the top right?
That'll delete the deck, yeah.
Oh no, don't do I don't want to
Deleting
delete
the
it, right?
deck puts everything in standby.
Oh, so I could put everything in standby and then build a deck from there.
Correct.
Oh, let's do that then. All right, delete. Cool. All right, we're going to keep doing this. We're going to delete all our decks, and we're going to go to standby, and then we're going to try to build an offense and defense deck real quick or something and see how the building process goes. Whoa, I got a lot of cards, bro. This is going to be pretty fun. All right. Drop MetaMask address. All right, here. DJ Me Popsicle is going to come to the rescue. Such a hero. Boom, copy, paste, sent. That's the one. All right, so create new deck, create new deck, create new deck. Cool. So it looks like we're back to like ground zero here. I can create a deck, so I will. All right, so it's empty at the moment. So if I want, could I, let's see, click on standby cards. And do I drag each card individually to the deck, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're gonna do.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. So, all right, let's see. Can you see my screen? Are you on like YouTube? If you go to youtube.com/KENNBOSAK, you should be able to see the live stream. And kind of help me out with walking me through this, because I see the requirements for the boost up here where it's like, 1 dark, 3 gray, 1 white. I just don't know what contributes to acquiring that when I build the decks.
Yeah, so the gray, black, and white magic are going to be generated at random based on just chance. So your deck is eligible for a certain number each round. So every time it's your turn in a battle, you'll start out by generating 3 or 4 or whatever number of magics your deck is eligible for. And you can use those magics in that turn to execute the special ability. So you don't really necessarily have to think so much about black, gray, and white, except you want to kind of balance it a bit. You want it to be like you want it to be somewhat balanced. You're not going to get like 100 black and 0 gray and 0 white, so you wouldn't want to have like all the abilities of the cards in your deck be black.
Oh yeah, I see some here are like 2, 2, 2. So that means I would need 2 of each, not just random. So
if there were 2, 2, 2, yeah, you need 2 of each. So you need everything that's shown there. So it has to be 2, 2, 2 for Swarm Frenzy, 3, 0, 1 for Mindbender.
Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna really try to focus on the top left and top right of the cards to see if I can get some good shield and good attack.
Yeah, and just consider, so one of the things is that the higher the cost of magic of the cards that you're putting in there, the slightly higher that your magic production is going to be weighted. So you want to put cards that have expensive magic abilities, but also just considering that also just like devalues everything else.
Oh man, all right, this is pretty easy though. So I dropped my first card into deck 1. I'm trying to look for like high shield. I got some over 32, so that's pretty badass. Does it matter in which order I add them to the deck?
Nope, no matter at all, because the deck's shuffled when you go.
Oh, all right. Let's see if I can find any. Yep, there we go. More 32. I'm just looking for high defense. I feel like, the best offense is a strong defense.
Yeah, you definitely got to have a good defense, because everybody who's playing, everybody's decks tend to be prepared for a good offensive attack. So you want to make sure that you're also prepared in that way.
34. That's a shield. Where'd he go? Come back. There it is.
You scroll to the next page.
Alright, let's see. Is this enough? How many cards have to go in a deck? Oh, I need 2 more.
So the minimum that you can play with is 5, but you really want to have a couple extras so that you have an opportunity to exchange during the game, which will increase your chance of winning because you get backer.
Ah, it keeps spinning on me because I have this magic mouse. So I blame Apple's magic mouse that keeps thinking I have 2 fingers when I'm dragging. All right, 32 with a 30. All right, and that seems to be 6. So I have 6 cards in my deck 1, and the top icon with the hand and sword, I can send them to battle.
Correct.
All right, so I see it as deck speed mode. I need 2 decks, it looks like then, right?
No, so you're just gonna be picking 1 deck, and
let me delete this one then. That's an accidental extra.
It doesn't matter. You can have 2 decks, but you're only gonna play with 1 at a time.
All right, got it.
Right,
so I select
that
it.
deck, and then the rest of this is just like the speed of the game that you're gonna play.
So what would you recommend for a beginner like myself?
Yeah, I mean, 3 minutes is pretty good. Like the default settings are pretty good generally. You don't have to worry too much about changing it. You can just make sure you get the right thing selected. If you want to play against bots to get like a little bit of practice in before you go kind of crazy and get dominated by a human who's been playing this game for thousands and thousands of battles, like you probably want to try that out. But let's just dive right in right now instead of trying to hide.
All right. I accidentally went to the bots.
It threw you straight in. So now you just pick your. You can on the left side you can see like those are the cards that are in your hand by default. So what happens is your deck gets shuffled up, and you get dealt 5 of those. You can pick one to be your initial leader, or you can leave that slot empty.
All right. So I guess my initial leader is going to be. I don't know. This kind of looks like Mewtwo, so let's do that. All right, so ready in 17 seconds and counting.
Yeah.
My name is White Ladybug, by the way.
Yeah, man, that's a legit name.
Does the name randomly generate it?
It does, yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna just join up your game real quick. I saw a White Ladybug a second ago. There you are. So I'm gonna just battle you with my mixed deck. So I got a couple kitties in here. So I'm gonna throw a kitty down to start.
Ooh, look at that fancy.
Right. Yeah. So this kitty is randomly, not randomly generated. It was generated from the random DNA of your kitty. I guess the DNA is not exactly random, but yeah, so it's your turn here. So right now you could choose either to attack me, which as you can see your attack is 27 and my shield is 39. If you were to attack me, you would not be victorious in this moment. However, you would take 27 of my shield points down. A smarter move would probably be to either try to find somebody else who's stronger, which you don't really have anything good enough to take him down, but you
but this is close as I can get right here, I think.
The alternative is you could throw your no leader up there, which is kind of saying like you're giving me nothing to attack, but the downside of that is I'm going to go straight at your health.
All right, so I'm going to attack with my Steam bot because it got 44 shield and you got 39 attack, so I'll be able to withstand one of those. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, so new game event, absorb the attack. Okay, cool. I see the notifications popping up in the top right.
Yep. So yeah, you can see I got 2/1/1 magics. None of my cards are ready to use their abilities yet. I don't have enough of anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sacrifice this guy since he's already a little bit damaged. Knock you down to 4 on yours.
Then I'm going to attack back and.
Right. So.
I'm sorry, kitty. I feel like a jerk.
You done killed my cat, man. All right. So now this guy is gonna come at you, take you down, and then when you come back at him, you see he's got this kitty hiss abilities. He's gonna get an extra 25 defense.
Oh snap! All right. So things just got real. Things just got really, really real over here.
So you got your
So I have
Ray,
3.
this other one, Regu, has got 301, so you have exactly the right magics to use it. But I don't know, you might have to do the math a little in your head to see if 39 plus 27 will overtake 38 plus 25.
Yeah, I think. Can I draw a card? It says drag here to exchange this card.
Yeah, so if you take one of your cards and drop it there, that's gonna, you got 1 card in your deck. This is a little number 1, so it means, so you have 1 opportunity for an exchange.
All right, so I could exchange the no leader maybe.
You can do that. That's a risky move.
Oh, then I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to do that then. All right, risky. We don't want to do risky. So this guy's pretty weak. So I could drag him down here. I did that. Why don't you listen? Alright, so it seems like my browser's just being a jerk and it's not accepting the drag.
The drop.
Alright, so we're just going to play this out. I'm going to attack.
I'm going to go ahead and exchange one of my...
Put him up, put him up.
You can see I just switched out one of my guys to get a different kitty.
Yeah, I saw it was, the shaman was exchanged.
Yep. Right, so...
Oh, there we go. I just exchanged one. It worked.
My homie here has 44 plus 70, so you're about to get...
Lit! That dude just got knocked out.
Yeah, he did.
Alright, so I got 3 gray, 1 white. I need 1 gray and 2 white for this one to get a plus 25 shield. That helps a lot, but not enough. That's
Hey, my dude's
that's
only got 19, so you could take him out in 1 shot.
Oh yeah, true. I actually wasn't looking at the +0 on the shield. I was looking at the +70. You're right. All right, so let's.
Yeah, but as you can see from my magic above my card, I don't have enough to activate that ability anyway.
Sweet, good call.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. So this dude's about to hit you pretty good. Take you down a little bit.
All right,
See,
that's
your deck is generating a pretty small amount of magic.
Yeah, I'm seeing this.
Yeah, mine's generating a lot more. This is just a function of how it's balanced.
Ooh, this doesn't look too bad.
No, it's gonna do some damage, definitely.
So every time I attack and I use that, it takes it away from the mana pool up top. Huh?
That's right. Yeah, you run it. Yeah, it burns up as you use it.
All right.
So you see, I don't have anything good to do here, so I have to just try to exchange. Hope I get something better.
Yeah, I don't have an exchange left myself.
Yeah, but you got a little bit of a lead on me. Where you have a better chance, I think.
It's 55. It says right here, 55.34 toughness, 205 health, 2-star. What's that mean underneath the name? And underneath your name, it says 35.45 and
that's
4.
That's the deck stats. So if you hover over that, it gives you a little tooltip, tells you this is about the deck.
Oh, there we go. 200. Ah, nice. All right, yeah, it does. It gives you the nice little stats.
It's basically the same thing you can see in the heroes section when you're building decks. You can see how much production you're gonna get. So yeah, so you know, you're in a rough position. So am I though. Yeah, I don't really have too much.
The music's pretty cool. Like, is this all independently made?
This audio came from Audio Jungle, so yeah, it's from a you know, just a maker, just some dude who created it. It's not like some, like, you know, big record label that we licensed or anything.
All right, 3-5. Ah, come on.
You left that one HP.
Oh, come on. I mean, you got one left,
Yeah, you're
so
taking me out. I'm done. So you won. You would have from that battle, you would have generated a little bit of Myth-X. So if you hover over your helmet up in the top right of the, yeah, you'll see like a little bit of Myth-X probably generated up there.
it
In
says
game.
0.18 in game.
Yep. So you generated 0.18 based on your performance in that game. So if you had 32 Myth-X, that's the minimum required for the first point of upgrade on any card. So every time you upgrade an attribute on a card, the cost of upgrading another attribute on that card goes up by double.
I
So
ran out of free cards to claim. I
you
got
trying
greedy.
to, look at you trying to just like scheme our whole system for free cards. What is
Hey,
this? What
hey,
is this?
hey. I gotta find,
What
where
is
was, it's here at Forge. All right, cool. DJ Meat Popsicle, thank you for the Crypto Kitty. He always comes through. It's true, bro. So it looks like I have my Crypto Kitty here. What do I gotta do? There's a button down here that says, transfer this kitty to our wallet for safekeeping. You can retrieve it at any time by simply unforging. So if I forge this into a mythic cat, it basically puts my crypto kitty in an escrow almost.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bye bye kitty. All right, so this is costing me a nickel, 5 cents,
A whole
and
nickel.
I can transfer my crypto kitty over. All right, so I did that. It looks like it's probably pending, I bet.
Yeah, so that'll take a minute. Your kitty also has to go through the process of forging, which takes a couple of minutes. So let's check out the tournament ongoing right now. So if you look at, if you go to the Battleground tab and hit Tournaments.
All right, I'm there.
All right, so you can see there's like a couple of tournaments going on. There's one that's like active right now, called the U.S. Open tournament. So if you click in there, you can see like the progress. Right now, it's all the way to the very last match. So the last battle is going down right
Oh, cool.
now.
So the entry fee looks like it
No,
was nothing.
yeah, correct, yeah. Oh, looks like the last battle just ended, so cool. So one of our top players, Topper, just won that battle. He goes by Cyan Baleen Whale on the platform.
So what did they win?
10 survivor cards. So, oh no, 10 awakening cards for the US Open. So if you click on the US Open view, you can see on the prizes. So it's based on how many rounds you win. So he won all the rounds, so he gets 10 awakening cards.
Oh, because it was one per round. Because that's what I was looking at. I thought I might have been on the wrong one. Because right here it says prizes win it says one awakening card. So yeah, he won 4 rounds.
Yeah, so he won the full game. So he won the full tournament. So he got the maximum. The guys who came up runner up got 5 awakening cards. Guys who were behind them got 3. Yeah.
You have a pretty active Discord, man. It's I can see it in the top or the bottom right corner here. There's over 50 people right now actively chatting. It's pretty cool. I like how it's tied into the website too, so you can just like jump right on in.
Yeah, we actually we built that little widget that you see down there. It's called WidgetBot, widgetbot.io. It's free to use. Anybody can use that. We open source the project, so it's out there in the open for anybody who wants to run their own little private server right on their website. It's a great integration for anybody who's actually using the game a lot, playing the game. You can play without actually having to install Discord.
So I'm gonna have to really check out my decks or my cards and really start building up some decks. So what you're really kind of looking for, I guess, or what I'd be looking for is pretty high offense and defense, but also not too greedy on the mana cost for the abilities as well, unless it's really worthwhile.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much exactly right. Yeah, so you just want to try to balance it out. Different people have different strategies. Everybody's got something different. Some people play kind of like aggro mode, like to the head at all times, just like going at you, just trying to knock you down. And other people play super conservatively, like trying to they just build a deck that has massive HP and like super low power and just wait you out and like slowly pick your guys off as you run out of magic as you're trying to attack them. So it's, there's different strategies. There's all sorts of different stuff. And, some of the guys who play the game a lot are literally on every day, playing like a dozen matches a day. So they've got like 5,000 games or more under their belt. As I said, we've been live for over a year now, so some of these guys have been around since the very beginning.
So is there any disadvantage to getting in now? Is it sort of like a problem of pay to play?
No, so yeah, that's one of the core issues that we had when developing the game. Our core goals that we had when developing the game was to make sure that there was no way that this game would succumb to the pay to win methodology. So you can't just like go buy a ton of expensive cards and just have an unbeatable deck. It's just not possible, because it really relies on balance. There's the possibility that you could create an extremely well balanced deck that would be super powerful and lose rarely, but that would not likely be made of the most expensive cards or any cards that you even purchased at all. You don't necessarily have to purchase cards to even play the game.
Oh yeah, it's right. I mean, you can just claim a couple free packs and really start, playing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to build a deck here where all the magic is like 2/2/2.
Yeah. Yeah, so you want to build a deck using some cards that have like really low magic cost and some that have very high magic cost. So the higher the magic cost of the cards that you add, the more magic your deck is going to generate, generally speaking. There's more to it than that, but that's kind of the easy rule of thumb. If you have a card that costs like 8 magic to execute its ability, then that's going to weight the total amount of magic that your deck produces on the upper end.
Interesting. So you kind of do want to balance it with low and high, so you can kind of you can earn more and use less at the same time.
Correct. One of the other things with what you were saying about getting in at this point, so our motivation in this game is not profit driven. We were really just excited about building something amazing for the community and something that's fun to play. So all of the money, all of the funds that come from pack purchases and all that kind of stuff actually goes back into the game, into tournaments. We dump out funds through tournaments, we do giveaways, we do contests, all sorts of stuff, and just like give away lots and lots of ETH.
Oh, so you win ETH, not just mythic or
you
cards.
You can win different stuff. Yeah, the cards you can sell on OpenSea for ETH as well. But yeah, you can earn ETH, you can earn DAI.
I got my Crypto Kitty!
You got him?
Yeah, kitty wise. Dope. Dude, I gotta make a whole deck of kitties now. Like that's just happening.
That's awesome.
DJ me Popsicle, you're my hero.
That's a pretty good kitty too. You got a pretty solid one. So when you forge a kitty into a mythic cat, it's gonna look at the DNA and determine like the value of your cattributes, your most expensive cattribute. So we're using like open source data, public data, to figure out what's the rarest and most valued cattributes.
Oh, so if you have a super rare Crypto Kitty, you could have a super powerful mythic cat.
You could. You start out with a good base, and then it goes into other things like the cooldown and the generation and all that kind of stuff to weight it up or down from the base.
That's pretty freaking cool, man. I'm gonna have to move all my Crypto Kitties over here now and start playing with them. But I'm just curious, what is the risks that I am kind of foregoing when I put my Crypto Kitty up for like the collateral? Is there any way to not get it back if the game were to not exist tomorrow?
No, so nope. It lives in a plasma chain. So we are gonna be having to actually put out a contract on the mainnet for you to be able to just withdraw the actual kitty. But right now, what you get in exchange is that 721 token that you're looking at right there, which is that mythic cat. So you now own that mythic cat, and if you want your Crypto Kitty back at any time, you just exchange that mythic cat back. So you don't keep the mythic cat if you get your Crypto Kitty back, unless you play 100 games, then you can keep it, and you also get your kitty back.
Wait, what? So that's enough incentive to make me play 99 more games, I think.
Yeah, right. So yeah, then you just get a free, ERC 721 NFT token that you can go trade on OpenSea. And you know what? There's like, oh, I don't know, 400 Mythic Cats in existence right now from people who have
401 now.
401. Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but that sounds about right. Yeah. A lot of people have done it. A lot of people have exchanged a ton of their Mythic Cats or a ton of their kitties for Mythic Cats.
Yeah, I mean, well, it looks like it's a pretty powerful boost, and it's a pretty cheap way to get a powerful card without, like you said, ever having to buy any. I don't.
Yeah.
If I have a ton of crypto kitties, I have potentially a ton of these cards just waiting.
Yep.
And so,
Yeah,
is that 100 games per cat, or is it 100 games and then all my cats?
100 games for so the card has to participate in the game for the game to count.
Oh, so if I had 6 crypto kitties in one deck, I could do 100 games with the same deck and get all 6 of my kitties back.
That's right.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's probably what I'm going to do.
They just have to come into play at some point during the game for them to count. So as long as all 6 of the kitties in your deck touch the board at some point, you're good.
So I see that the marketplace is pulling from OpenSeas.
Yeah. So we had a partnership with OpenSea, and they're basically our kind of on-site auction partners. Anything.
Whoa, that is a
anything
strong
going
card.
on.
I'm looking at the cost for some of these, and they look like they're going for 0.12 ETH and 0.1 ETH, 0.5, half a ETH. Some of them are really powerful, dude. That
Different
mammoth
cards
is
sold
huge.
for a lot. Yeah, so those are Genesis cards. Genesis are no longer available. Those are
How do you
sold
tell
off.
the attributes of the card, like the rarity? Oh, it's Genesis Edition at the bottom in the middle, right there.
Yep. Yeah, so that tells you the edition. The edition just has to do. So the rarity is not manufactured. We don't manufacture rarity. We don't believe in manufactured rarity. So we don't have a mechanism for.
Is there
for saying-
scarcity?
There is scarcity because these editions are capped. So Genesis, for example, there were exactly 5,000 Genesis cards that were allowed to be minted, and once that cap was hit, smart contracts done printing Genesis cards. You couldn't buy one from the contract if you wanted to. The only way to get them now is to trade from other players. So there's built-in scarcity for every single edition in the game.
Oh, I broke it.
You broke something?
Yeah, I tried to do the
Just
marketplace. I tried to do the marketplace in highest cost listings. So when I went to filter by and I hit by
Yeah,
price, it
you
kind
know,
of glitched.
to be honest with you, we haven't spent a ton of time on the marketplace on site because OpenSea just provides such an amazing experience on their own site that we really just kind of push people a little bit more toward that.
A lot of people don't understand the power of OpenSea, but guys, you gotta
amazing.
check it out. You gotta check out OpenSea. This is where you take all that time and attention you put into a game and capitalize on that monetized time right here. These are, look at these cards. You get 0.8. I could basically get a whole ETH for this card. Huh.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of variation in value for different cards at different times. Some people are looking to build a specific type of deck. As I said, Genesis cards are not available anymore, so anybody who wants a Genesis card has to go to OpenSea or some other auction outlet. These are all smart contract. It's not like OpenSea is the only one that's allowed to list them, but that's where most people do. Just because that's the #1 spot for crypto collectibles these days.
Yeah, and it's just really conveniently put together. You don't have to be really deep knowledgeable about cryptocurrency. You could just be a gamer and kind of just basically walk right through. It's almost like Amazon or any other kind of traditional checkout service. You don't have to worry about too much to do with private keys. Once you have your MetaMask login, it's almost like having a login with Steam account. Really, it's so relatable. Except Steam centralized owns all your games and your permission to play the games that you already spent money on. So, again, if Steam doesn't want you playing X, Y, and Z, there goes all the time you put into those games.
No, it's wild. I've got, some skins on my Counter-Strike Go account that are worth hundreds of dollars, but at any point Steam could be like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna ban you from trading, and I can never capitalize on that. Those things are stuck in game. That's it goes back to the value of NFTs and why we're even doing this in the first place.
Can I send my CryptoKitty card to another player? How would I transfer the ownership?
Yeah, so there's no on-site like transfer to another user function, just because we don't have it's sitting in a Plasma wallet basically, and we don't have your key to actually transfer that. So you have to initiate transfers on your own. We will add a sort of a convenience function for that, but in the meantime, you could actually do this on OpenSea. You know, they have the gift function, which is basically just a transfer.
Ooh, let me see if I can
For
do
that mythic
that.
cat to
So,
somebody else, and it'll be, you know, it can only live in one place, so it's going to be pulled out of your wallet and placed in whoever's wallet you send it to.
all right, so I got all my cards out. Whoa, load more. And I want to see if I can send this to DJ Meat Popsicles, my Ethereum account. Where's my kitty?
I think I'm not sure if OpenSea is properly displaying crypto or mythic cats yet.
It may not. So would I just transfer back the crypto kitty itself then?
You could do it. I mean, whatever way you wanted to. So if you wanted if you wanted to get your kitty back, you'd have to transfer the kitty back to the wallet that sent it to you. So that wallet is gonna return your kitty on demand. But until you give up the mythic cat, until you give up possession of the mythic cat, it's there.
Yeah, this filter for your cards on OpenSea for my Ethereum is super sexy. Like, it's just so convenient. I can just do all 20 creatures, and then I can go by type, so I can just conveniently see I have, you know, form, I have swarm, I have wind, stealth right here. I can just, you know, conveniently see what I have.
This is why we haven't put as much effort into the on-site marketplace. It's really just pointless. I mean, these guys are killing
There
it.
we go.
These
Yeah,
guys
I
are
could
killing
gift it. Yeah, no, that is really, really awesome to see. So what inspired this really? Like, what was the inspiration to create this game the way you did it? Because, like, the battle is really unique. I play a few trading card games, and I've never really seen this style of battle layout where it does feel like I had a pretty good chance of winning or losing in that battle, no matter how stacked your cards were. It felt pretty fair, even though you've obviously been involved a lot longer than me, and my decks were just randomly thrown together. So, like, how did that become a gameplay method? Like, what inspired this?
Yeah, so it's really just like reflecting on the nature of games as they are. You know, all the trading card games that you're used to, all of them suffer from one thing, which is that I can just like buy a stacked deck and always win. Like I don't have to strategize. I don't have to really do anything. If I build the right deck, I'm just like guaranteed the win. So we spent a lot of time balancing the cards individually as well as balancing the game engine overall, so that, you know, when you go out and you build this amazing stacked deck that you think is just going to dominate at all times, it's not going to, probably, because it's constantly being like rebalanced and measured against the value of other cards. So it's like, yeah, you've got power, but you also have lower HP as a result of that. You make less magic as a result of that. Uh, you have to balance everything. You have to be willing to put a little bit of thought into how you stack your decks.
So what's the roadmap like for my Ethereum for 2019? I mean, you're a year old. You got a lot of active users, as I can see, especially in the Discord. Just super active. People playing thousands of games already. So I'm just curious, what are your plans for 2019? What's the roadmap look like at the end of the year for you guys?
Yeah, so we're continuing development. We're, as you can see from our Discord, we have a big active community, and we're constantly checking in with our community to see like what it is that the people really want to be playing. So Mytherium is heading towards becoming a DAO, and when it does, everybody who holds MythX will have partial ownership of the game itself. So all of the future really is in the hands of the players of the game. So we want to see this game live on. We want to see it persevere like for as long as possible.
How
And
does my Ethereum make money then if you're just giving it all away? Do you actually have to compete in your own competitions to earn back some of the fundings from the DAO?
no, we don't do that. You know, we are fortunate enough to have good backing and not have to kind of focus on profitability for the game. That's not really our motivation, as I was saying before. Like, the idea is to boost awareness of crypto games, to build a kind of the first working model example of what a DAO in the form of a game can look like. How this can actually be a model that works for other games in the future. So we've got, lots of cool stuff on our immediate pipeline too. As I was mentioning before, the strongholds right now, it's kind of all text based, but we've actually got a hex map, kind of perspective hex map deal that like shows in real time all these things that are happening in the strongholds game. That's in development right now. It's going to be kind of a big reveal. We'll be showing off pretty soon, hopefully sooner rather than later. But we try not to make any super uh, ambitious promises of dates and whatnot, because we don't want to. We can't. I don't want to be the guy who looks like a flaky crypto project that's just trying to run off with everybody's money, saying, "Oh, I'm going to be done with this in 3 weeks," and 6 months go by and it's not complete. We'd rather continue to develop a valuable experience for people and prioritize that over the speed of releasing new content
Yeah, I
or
mean,
new.
especially when people are putting a lot of time and money into it, you don't want a smart contract to have a bug, and the
That's
more
right.
players you have, the more disgruntled customers there are to have. It's
That's
it's
right.
it's
And it's
actually a really good
complex.
idea to be smaller now and not try to over market and overcompensate with
Yeah.
flash.
You'll notice like some of the players in this space, some of the other games have really been kind of running around like, hey guys, check us out, come sign up for the beta and do all this stuff, and going out shouting on stages at every Ethereum conference around the world. And more power to them. Me personally, I'd rather build an amazing experience and run around talking about how amazing it's going to be. um, and I'd like to see this just continue to be a thriving space. So I'm just trying to develop it, trying to build it out, see what happens.
Dude, it's looking like it's happening already, guys. Go ahead and check out mytherium.io. Claim your free deck. All you have to do is, create a MetaMask account if you don't already have one. If you need any help with that, I have YouTube video on that. Just search how to make a MetaMask account. I'm pretty sure Google, I'm ranked like the second most common video for the search. So just search on Google how to make a MetaMask account or wallet. It should pop right up. Or watch anybody's. It's common. Just make a MetaMask account, create that login, and claim your free decks. And is there a way for people to challenge me if they go to new battle? Can they
Yeah, so if
challenge
you go
me?
to the battlegrounds, you can see there's like not started battles that are ready to be picked up at any time. So those are
Ah.
those are people who are like searching for to battle right now, looking to battle right now. So you can join up on one of those games. Anybody who creates a new game is going to show up there unless they put it on private mode.
Oh,
And
so I could just go ahead, create new battle right here, pick my
right,
deck, and just send the battle and wait for somebody to come fight me. Do
yep.
I actually have to actively be here to play, or will it kind of play out, or will it
Yeah, so
depend?
there
Or
is there is an auto play, which kind of helps make sure that people don't get stuck with like an idle player, somebody who starts a game and is like, I think I'll just go like make a sandwich instead.
yeah. So how do I do idle play? Do I just
That's automatic. So if you get a certain amount of time, so that speed up there, 3 minutes, is how much time you have to make moves. And if you take longer than that amount of time, the system will manually or automatically generate a move for you based on a pretty rudimentary AI system.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So you can see right now if you go to the battlegrounds, I have a battle right here waiting for opponents. So somebody watching, probably DJ Me Popsicle, go to mytherium.io and come kick my butt, or at least try to at least. So let people know where they can find you, more about Mytherium and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you can find, obviously we've got an active Discord community. You can find a link to that on the homepage of Ethereum, Ethereum.io. It's basically Ethereum with a my instead of an e. It's very simple. You can find us on Twitter at Ethereum, Instagram, all that. We're not a hugely social media active, but you can definitely find us there, and we'll definitely stay in contact. If you reach out to us, you hit us up, we'll happily retweet anything you've got going on in the space.
And yeah, man, one last happy 1 year birthday to
Yeah,
MyTherium,
thanks.
and shout out to you and all the team working hard over there, guys. Go ahead and check out mytherium.io. Thanks again. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, bro. Have a day.
Yeah, thanks, man. Later.